Beep beep. What is up, ninjas? My name is Sam World. We got the White Claws. Apparently, everyone's been drinking this. So today, guys, we're gonna be working on the intro. We need to get a little buzz going to work on Tech House. Yeah, it's a very party genre. Now, I got this comment recently that should spark a little bit of debate in the comments. Hopefully, the comment states that this kind of tech house that we are currently making, or that boom that's happening with Fisher, Li Brown, Chris Lake, all these guys blowing up. You know, you go to a festival, you're gonna see the tech house stages are a little bit more packed now. I believe, you know, Fisher, they're making it more accessible for normal people to like it rather than going for the hardcore tech house. However, the comment states that, you know, the underground crowd that's hardcore tech house will never appreciate it. And then he goes on to kind of show what an underground tech house track would sound like. Like, of course, the Mark Knight label, Tool Room, and those kind of tracks, which I actually like as well. All I'm going to say, guys, is that you should make whatever you like. You should make whatever you like at the moment. You should be able to express yourself. So if you like making pop tech house, and that's what certain people consider it, you should go for it. You shouldn't let other people's opinions influence what you want to make. Yeah, the moment you become an artist, you open yourself up to that criticism, and there's going to be people that love your track, and there's going to be people that think it's shit. And that's the beauty of it. Everyone gets to have an opinion on what you created. And I believe as long as someone has an opinion, you matter, and that's the important part of it. Your track touches someone in a negative way, positive way, but at least it touched them in some way, and hopefully, you know, they didn't get too excited. But with that being said, guys, make what you like. At the end of the day, it's your life, it's what you're making, and if this is what you like, this is what you like. So let's work on the introduction, guys. So right now we have this intro, which is very basic, and like I stated before, we actually made the track a little longer in the intro. We're at the 33 bar mark. We're gonna
party.
pretty cool track, pretty cool bass. So there's a couple of things I want to work on the mix in this track, but it's kind of close to where I want it to be. But let's focus on the introduction first before we focus on mixing. That's for next episode. So what we're going to do, guys, is first off, again, like I said, I do have two reference tracks. I have the You Little Beauty by Fisher, and I have the Shiva Sound Rock the House, okay? Now, Shiva Sound's Rock the House starts the beat off by essentially having a kick that is crippled, and this is the worst way to say it, but it's always how I say it. Essentially, we started off, and this is going to give me a little bit of time to progress. It makes my life a little bit easier. So I'm going to go to around 126 on this guy here for the introduction so that we get something like this. Okay, make it simple.
After party.
That makes it a lot easier for me to essentially start the song, because now as I do the progression, I can bring in the low end of the kick, and I can see that as a change. So it definitely makes it a lot easier, and that's what we're going to be doing. Maybe we could take it up a notch a little bit more. Let's try that. So let's bring this up.
After party. After party.
And now here we're going to bring the low end of the kick.
After party. After party.
Okay, so then at the end here, we're just going to do the double kick that we've been doing throughout the song to kind of help us transition. And we're going to essentially just, again, cripple it again here, maybe like so.
After party. Meet me at the
Okay, from there, we're going to need a lot of automation to make that work. But again, let's focus on this introduction first. As you can see, Fisher does that same intro, and then right here, he goes into just a kick again. He gets rid of that low end there on the kick. So I don't know if I want to go with or just go straight up. And then as we approach this, we'll keep the kick going, and then by the drop, we'll have that whole area there like so. And then we'll just get rid of the low end of the kick there. So that's another variation we can do. And I think that one's actually a bit better. So I'm changing my mind as we go, as you can see already. So let's do that. So we're going to actually do that. We don't need to bring in the bass yet. As you can see, he has just pretty much that vocal going without any sort of like just kick, drum.
after party. Meet me at the after party. After party. Meet me at the after party.
So we're just going to have that with the clap, similar to Fisher. Again, we're using him as a guide for this.
After party. Meet me at the after party. After party. Meet me at the after party. After party. Meet me at the after party.
Now, Fisher does something very interesting in his track here where he just brings in the open hat and whatnot and drops straight into it. I think we're going to do the same thing. I will say that I'm taking the lazy way out because I could come up with my own little transition there. But I feel like, again, this is something to show you guys how you would use a reference track. So we're going to go.
Meet me at the after party.
Okay, I'm going to choose to actually have a long fill and an uplift, not an uplifter, but just a white noise uplifter for this part. And we are going to get rid of the reverb by the time we hit that part. So let's do that as well. All right, so let's make sure our Endless Smile ends by here.
After party. After party. Meet me at the after party. After party.
Okay, so that kind of makes a little bit more sense there.
Party. After party.
Okay, from here, again, we're going to get rid of these vocals here. Maybe we don't need them there. Just a very simple introduction. I'm going to choose to actually make the open hat mono. I don't know why it's annoying me wide now, so I want it more. I like that. We'll have the uplifter there as well. Let's just leave it. Just this white noise.
After party.
No downlifter here.
After party. Meet me at the after party. After party. Meet me at the after party. After party. Meet me at the after party. After party.
Let's add a bit of delay here, starting here.
After party. Meet me at the after party.
Just that delay.
After party. Meet me at the after party. After party. Meet me at the after party. After party. Meet me at the after party.
Okay, so we'll see if we can switch ours a bit. I feel like ours isn't going to work with that because the vocal doesn't do, it got me burning up in here, and it helps us glide into that. So maybe what we can do.
Meet me at the after party. After party. Meet me at the after party.
Something like that.
After party. Meet me at the after party.
I do want like this sort of longer reverb there, so we're going to apply our own.
After party. Meet me at the after party.
So let's check.
After party. Meet me at the after party. 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 After party. Meet me at the after party.
Here we're going to automate that reverb as well here.
After party. Meet me at the after party. After party.
Okay, so let's try that. Just very simple. Get that white noise. We don't really need to go crazy with this.
After party. Meet me at the after party. 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 After party.
I kind of want to add like a delay to this vocal there just to make it a little bit more fun. Let's see if we can do it with the echo here. This is just, again, showing my swag, my personality. So in my head, I heard it. We'll try it out.
After party. Meet me at the after party. 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 After party.
So we can maybe try doing every 4 bars or something like that.
After party. Meet me at the after party. After party. Meet me at the after party. After party.
Maybe a little quieter. Remember, the dry and wet here is going to control the volume of that delay effect.
After party.
So that's how you can kind of see the dry and wet in a way. A lot of people just think dry and wet, oh, the effect. But it's the volume of the effect. So that actual sound, that's the volume of it. Think about it that way. As you increase that wet, you're decreasing the volume of the dry signal or the original one. So that's why some people like to use returns more, because that way when you route stuff there, you're not losing volume from the original.
After party. After party.
Maybe we could do a little bit of a wobble.
After party. After party.
Let's get the filter up so we can decide where to go with it. Make sure my camera's in the right spot.
After party.
Let's get a little bit more like crippled version of it.
After party. After party. Meet me at the after party. After party.
And then here a huge.
Meet me at the after party. After party. Meet me at the after party. After party.
Okay. I do want a little bit of modulation on that just so it kind of gets like this weird vibe to it. So let's see if we
Meet me at the after party. After party. 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 Meet me at the after party.
Okay, let's try this again.
After party. Meet me at the after.
I don't like how it thins out by the end.
After party. Meet me at the after party. 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 After party. Meet me at the after party.
All right, so I'll ask you guys a question there so you guys can kind of help out with the track. A little bit of interaction. So, do you guys feel like we should have the bass?
After party. Meet me at the after party. 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 After party. Meet me at the after party.
Okay. I also want to get rid of the reverb on this downlift there. As well as this side. Lower volume of this.
After party.
Okay, so that would be our introduction. Very simple. I'll do the Nicky Romero one that everyone always saw. I don't know why. For some reason, I always feel like there needs to be a damn crash at the beginning. Like, just for fucking reason, Nicky Romero. It stuck to me. Let's quiet this.
After party. Meet me at the after party. 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 After party.
Maybe it'll be a lot cleaner if we reverse it.
After party. Meet me at the after party. 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 After party. After party.
I like the way that bass comes in, but it needs to be more like this, where it kind of filters up.
After party. Meet me at the after party. After party.
Maybe a little bit.
After party. Meet me at the after party. 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 After party. Meet me at the after party.
Maybe the lows could be there, but we get rid of them beforehand.
After party. Meet me at the after party. After party. Meet me at the after party. After party.
I feel the vocal's a bit too loud, though. I am going to add maybe 2 clap hits there or a little fill. Just pop.
Meet me at the after party. Meet me at the after party.
Ba, ba, ba. I think that would be good.
After party. Meet me at the after party.
Nah, it should probably be there because the delay is still going by that moment.
Meet me at the after party. After party.
Okay, cool. We're going to add maybe pa, pa. I don't know. That's something I always want to do in my tech house productions is have a fucking clap that just hits like pa, pa. Ever since I heard it, I think it was the track was called the Hotson's 82, the Green Velvet remix of Better Than Prince. I always found that so catchy. It for some reason, it just speaks.
After party.
It doesn't work here, though, because that after party rhythm. So
After party. After party. After party. Meet me at the after party. After party. Meet me at the after party.
all right, so let's focus on the outro a little bit more now. So let's get rid of this lock mechanism here. You guys can't see it, but that just makes it so that the automation doesn't change, but I do want it to change.
After party. Meet me at the after party. After party.
Okay, so these need to come afterwards, so we'll just do that.
After party. Meet me at the after party. After party. After party. After party. Meet me at the after party. After party. After party. After party. After party. After party. Meet me at the after party.
Maybe we should have Meet Me at the After Party to end it there. So I should probably do that.
Meet me at the after party.
Let that fucking reverb go there, man. All right, we're gonna also get maybe rid of the low end of the kick there, just because it makes it a lot easier for someone to mix in. So we're gonna follow the Fisher route, which is what he does as well. So let's just grab in here.
After party.
I'm gonna actually get rid of the kick just in that spot.
After party.
Let's hear the outro.
After party. After party.
So guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Now next time we're actually going to be using a cool little plugin called Reference. Essentially what we're going to do is drop these guys in here, like Rock the House by Shiva-san, and then we're going to compare between them. So I could also drop in the You Little Beauty and switch between them. I'm going to hit mirror because we are using the arrangement in sort of a way, so I can easily go into the drop and just go like, all right, let's see what we're working. You can see the frequency response is pretty good. Essentially, if the line is above, that means I have more mids than the track. And if the line is below, that means I have less mids than the track, and vice versa for all the frequency bands. The other thing, too, is that pink dot. That just states compression. If it moves away from it, away from the white line, mine's is less compressed. It's more dynamic. And if it moves towards it, mine's is more compressed and not as dynamic. You can use that how you want. But it's going to help us in just achieving a better mix. So as you can see, ours is just a tad bit louder than that one. So we're going to ease up a bit. And when we kind of get them together, you can kind of see we're pretty spot on. The only thing is you can see it's going to be pretty much our high frequencies need to be a little louder, which is funny because you hear this and it already has a lot of highs. And you can see it's probably due to that effect. See, you can kind of see the difference. His hats and his rides are a little bit more like saturated than mine. So you can tell because they're like very bright, very harmonic. And what I mean by harmonic is they kind of have a little bit more like drive to them. So we're going to be doing that next time, but that's what we're going to be using next time, guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Simple intro, simple changes, but as you guys can see, a lot of times just keeping it simple in these tracks is the way to go. The more stuff you add, the more cluttered it sounds, the more hard it is for someone to mix out and mix into it. And when you start referencing with other people and you start seeing very huge similarities in the way that they do their intros, it should kind of tell you something that maybe you need to follow that format so that people can mix into your track. With that being said, you guys take care. I'll catch you guys next time, and peace out.